Welcome to the show. I'm Lolo Ganaike, and it was a big week in pop culture, so let's dive in, shall we? All right, up first, Netflix sent a cease and desist letter to two men who opened a Stranger Things pop-up bar in Chicago recently. I'm guessing when Netflix found out someone was using their intellectual property without asking, they reacted like this. The Walking Dead is on the cover of EW this week. The season 8 premiere of the beloved show also happens to be its 100th episode. In the story, show writer Scott Gimple reveals that the war between Rick and Negan will absolutely be resolved this season. Now, Negan's such a tough character, it's hard to imagine him dying, and we don't know what happens, but let's hope it's half as emotional as this. Shifting gears, James Corden said he regrets kissing former White House spokesman Sean Spicer at an Emmy party. Asked if he feels the same way, Spicer said, "I don't know what he's talking about. That was the biggest, deepest, moistest kiss of my life. I regret nothing." Spicy. Speaking of the Emmys, I was there at our exclusive EW party and I spoke to a ton of celebrities about toilet paper, Oprah, and more. Take a look. What do you do when you've been walking around a party for an hour and when you realize that you have toilet paper stuck on your shoe?
You act like you meant to put it there.
Make it a nice scarf.
I just dance it right on off.
You kind of do a James Brown slide.
Everyone look, I got toilet paper in my shoe.
Leave it becomes a bit. Look, a bird.
Go back in the bathroom and put another piece on the other shoe and just make it symmetrical.
What do you do when you're on the dance floor, you're breaking it on down and your heel snaps?
I make it look like it's part of it. It's a new dance.
You do the stanky leg, because the stanky leg don't need no heel. I'd be like,
do like the one leg kind of thing. You rip off the other shoe and you just dance barefoot. Right?
What do you do when you've been talking to Oprah and you realize that you have food in your teeth?
I just get that thing out of there and keep talking.
I yell at Oprah for not telling me that I had food in my teeth.
Oprah would say, hey,
she'd actually go,
I would go, Oprah, now you know you should have told me, girl. Oprah.
You're on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Breaking it down, shaking it up. Your pants split open. What do?
You just gotta keep on dancing.
Keep going.
Yeah, rip them off.
You just take your pants off, right?
Yo, everybody look at my butt.
I start to twerk.
Rip the shirt too.
I do this walk.
Start to twerk. All right, we'll be right back with more show. Welcome back. I'm here with the star of the new show, Me, Myself, and I, Bobby Moynihan. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, let's talk about your new gig.
All right, let's do it.
All right, it examines one man's life over a 50-year span.
Yeah.
You see him at 14, 40, and 65, and you play him at 40. Mm-hmm. What else can you tell me about this project?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Yeah, I play Alex Riley, an inventor, and we see him at 3 different stages. Jack Dylan Grazer plays Alex at 14, and John Larroquette plays him at 65. And it's just kind of story of this man's life and how he got to where he is. When we see him at 14, he's a very hopeful, full of life, kind of wants to change the world with his inventions. And when we see him at 40, he's not doing so hot. Uh-huh. His wife has cheated on him, and he is
with
living
an ambulance worker.
Yeah, an EMT. You say that like it would be worse if it was like a fireman or something.
No, he just firemen are a little hotter.
They have calendars.
What's it like playing a young John Larroquette? Did you watch Night Court?
I did. I was a huge fan of Night Court. Dan Fielding, one of the greatest characters of all time. It's a blast. I mean, we're all kind of playing this new guy. We all have facets of each other. Where I'm trying to do stuff that Jack does. I'm trying to do stuff that John does, and I think they're doing the same. So we're trying to find this amalgamation of the three. But I find myself talking like John Larroquette. I find myself trying to make my voice as deep as possible.
Now, I call this show a cross between The Wonder Years, Boyhood, and Outlander.
I thank you for calling it that.
You like that?
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right. I just wanted to say that. I wanted you to be happy. Did I make
It's
you
your
happy?
show. You can say whatever you want.
Your character also chokes at a school dance in his teen years and ruins his chance to date the hottest girl in this school. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in front of a girl?
I remember a girl in my high school telling me she liked a song and going home that night and listening to the song like 100 times and learning the words and then trying very casually the next day, be like, oh, you know, that song is amazing, and just trying to bring it up again, and she was like, I don't even know what you're talking
Wait,
about.
what was the song?
Oh, God, what's the...
Please tell me it was
Summer of
something like-
'69.
Summer of 60.
She mentioned it, and I was just like, well, I got to learn that song and bring it up in conversation. She couldn't have cared less. Maria Giordano, hope you're doing well.
Can you sing a little Summer of 69 for me
Absolutely
right now?
not. No.
Really?
No.
Not
No,
gonna
I refuse. My wife is a Broadway singer, and I've learned not to do it in public unless you're really, really great at it.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about another song that you may sing, Single Ladies.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is one of my favorite SNL sketches of all time.
Thanks so much,
And it
thanks.
was your idea.
I remember Keenan coming over to me and showing me the video and thinking I would love to try doing something as these backup dancers. And then one of the writers, John Lutz, and I sat down and wrote it together.
And how'd you get Queen Bee, Beyonce, and JT, Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, that was a hard one.
participate?
It was like my 8th episode. I just remember we read it at the table and it went okay. I think Kristen read Beyonce's part, Kristen Wiig read Beyonce's part at the table, and then they were like, we might do this, we don't know, we have to talk to Beyonce about it, and it just kind of went away. And then the next thing I know, there's a knock on my door, Andy saying, let's go downstairs and talk to Beyonce. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go anywhere near her. But she was wonderful. She was absolutely gracious and really charming and very funny. She looks like an angel in real life. And she was great, but she didn't want to do it live because she was so nervous about her. It was the first time she was performing Single Ladies in another song. So she was like, can we pre-tape it? And Lauren was like, no, we can't. So it just went away. And then Andy called up Justin Timberlake and he showed up. And then next thing you know, we were doing it. If I ask, it's maybe. If Justin Timberlake asks, it's a go.
And you lasted 8 seasons.
9.
9 seasons.
Yeah.
Would you go back?
Yeah, I would go back in any capacity. If the show doesn't do well, I'm gonna shave my beard, grow a mustache, and go back under a different name. But yeah, no, I mean the hope is, of course, it's like a family. You never really leave. You hope to come back and show up and do something.
All right. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Single Ladies meet a break?
Sure.
All right. Me, Myself, and I premieres September 25th at 9:30 on CBS.
You do that pretty good.
I'm a single lady. Welcome back. My guest is one of the stars of the Lego Ninjago movie, Michael Pena, and he's here with some of his co-stars. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, I'm here with all of them. This one, Zach Woods is this guy, Abby Jacobson, Fred Armisen, Kumail, Jackie Chan, this guy, Dave Franco, and Justin Theroux, and that is myself.
Okay, so that guy right there is married
Yeah.
to Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, this guy right here is married, the guy with the 4 arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's married to Jennifer Aniston.
I guess that's why she said yes.
Yeah. You went there, I didn't.
So walk me through the personalities of each of these characters. Your character, Kai.
Yeah, so he's like, they hired the Mexican guy to be fire, and this guy's the Green Ninja, which is like holds everyone together. This one's Master Wu, and we protect this city, Ninjago. That's Jay, Cole, Nia, and then Zane, who was a robot.
Did you play with Legos growing up?
I did. I grew up kind of poor, so I played with a Lego. It was cool. Played with one piece. Just like, oh, this is so cool. My son actually thinks that it's going to be like the biggest Lego movie ever. He's like, Dad, you don't understand. It's already an existing product. It's going to be awesome. I'm like, all right.
I love that your son talks like a movie executive. That's great.
Yeah. He's one of those kids.
Yeah, he knows the industry.
In the readathon, he came in second.
Really?
He's in 3rd grade, and like the first place was an 8th grader.
Nice.
Can't believe I'm bragging about my son reading like that.
I love it. Reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, Michael. The Lego Ninjago movie is in theaters everywhere September 22nd. Now, speaking of hilarious actors, Danny Pudi stopped by recently to reflect on some of his past projects, and his stories were a service to our community. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Danny Pudi. I've been in a lot of fun projects over the years, and I'm going to tell you some stories about them in a segment called Pudi Call. West Wing. That was my first credit, my first line on television.
Guest list for the Cleveland event. Yeah, right there.
I was terrified, don't really remember. I think I blacked out while doing it. Some people like to remind me sometimes, send me pictures on Twitter that you can see kind of half of my face. I'm on screen for about 30, it's like half a second. ER, that was a doozy. It was my first dramatic role. It was my first kind of big role, full arc. I played a character named Mahir, who's not the greatest guy. Spoiler alert!
What's he doing here?
Hey, let's just be cool, all right?
Get out.
It was my really first time on a set for a full week in a very dramatic role, so it was really cool. It was terrifying. I didn't do the nicest things in that episode, which my mom likes to remind me about. Gilmore Girls, I was in 4, maybe 5 episodes. I played Raj. I was a student at Yale, which my family is super excited about.
I've never exactly seen Roy's apartment. Oh, yeah? We mostly just hang at the paper, and mostly at the paper.
I think I got to wear some really weird turtlenecks, which is really cool because I feel like my neck's already pretty long, so when you give me a turtleneck, it just kind of enhances the neck of the flamingo that is me. When I first read the script for Community, I knew right away, I was like, this is a crazy, bizarre, wonderful show full of comedy and really heartwarming scenes. It's very different, so I knew right away, I was like, this is a show I would watch. That was one of my favorite scenes just because I got to throw a cape at a tray of food. Joel got really mad at me because I kept trying to get him dirty with like cartons of milk.
Show's gonna last 3 weeks! 6 seasons and a movie!
6 seasons in a movie! Yeah, and a movie is the last part of it. And I believe we will do it. And I'm hopeful. I don't know when, but I think that we're talking about it. People are actually talking about it. I think there is an appetite. I don't know if there will be in 10 years. Maybe there will be. Either way, I just want to do it because I want to see what everybody's up to. In Community, Abed references a time where he was an extra on the set of a show. And he also mentions that he's a big fan of Cougar Town.
And he says, jump into the background of this scene. Walk through it. Walk through Cougar Town.
It was one of those things that just started as sort of a reference in the show itself. And then two of the writers, Neil Goldman and Garrett Donovan, actually worked on Scrubs with Bill Lawrence, who was the creator of Cougar Town. And so I think one day I literally got a text from one of them saying, hey, would you ever want to go be on Cougar Town? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, like, why not? I love Busy Phillips, I love TV. And so they were like, can you go today? And I was like, okay. So I just went and showed up on set, and yeah, sure enough, Busy Phillips was in a scene. And they're just kind of go in the background and just be a background actor, do whatever you want. I did like 3 takes. I was the worst background actor of all time, staring into camera. I was paying way too much attention. I was just very engaged with the scene, which you're not supposed to do. So it came this like little, Easter egg.
I pooped my pants.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I was in the movie for about 1 scene.
Excuse us.
It was awesome. Chris Evans actually punched me in the scene. That scene didn't make it, which was kind of a bummer, but I just always wanted to get punched by Captain America. The Tiger Hunter is an independent film. It's a story about a young immigrant who journeys from India to Chicago in the 1970s.
I want to be a professional American.
Tacos amigos, muchachos.
Hey, Linda, thank God it's Friday. Anyone here notice how much torque is involved in figure skating?
It was my first time actually going to India. We shot for a week in India. And one of the scenes in the film, I'm riding on a Vespa through these streets. And it was terrifying because I'd never ridden with multiple passengers on a Vespa. Spoiler! And it was really scary. We only had like 2 takes. It was like nighttime, the streets were wet. And we did it, but I think you can see from my facial expression in that scene, it's a very honest reaction. You can see The Tiger Hunter in theaters September 22nd.
star and co-directors of the film Woodshock, Kirsten Dunst, Kate Malevy, and Laura Malevy. Thanks for stopping by, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Entering into the film world can be a totally different journey. What was it like for you two collaborating on something like your first film project?
Well, the film deals with very serious subject matter because it's a psychological journey, and I think a very existential film. It's about a quest to understand yourself, I think, in the greater context of kind of the natural world and maybe things about humanity through a specific character. But that being said, Laura and I and Kirsten all had so much fun making it. I mean, I think Kirsten had the hardest job in the sense that she has to emotionally access this character and bring so much to life on screen that's much more about abstract emotions.
You know, marijuana figures prominently in this story, but it's no Pineapple Express. I mean, this is not it's not a stoner flick at all. There's some very heavy themes that are tackled, particularly euthanasia. Kirsten, what made you want to be a part of this project?
Well, for me, I've known Laura and Kate now for 11 years, and I was the first actress to ever wear their clothing. So we've had like a bond and a sisterly bond for such a long time, and going and experiencing their fashion shows always felt like stories to me. And I knew that, you know, they really have their own lane artistically in this world, and I knew that Laura and Kate, it was such a natural thing for me that they would direct.
I hadn't heard of the term Woodshock until I started researching this project. Had you been familiar with this term before?
Actually, when we had written the script, or maybe we had gotten about halfway through, is when we were kind of discussing the idea of disorientation in the woods, and one day it kind of came up in our own research, and we realized, oh, this term is a perfect title for Teresa's experience. Even though they kind of came into our lives separately as ideas, they both happened simultaneously. So it was a perfect analogy for her mental journey, something that's so physical in a landscape of trees.
The film is a visual feast. Did your backgrounds in fashion in any way help inform what we saw on the screen?
I think our background, well, Kate and I studied English literature and art history in college at UC Berkeley, which is, you know, a very special place to study those things, and that taught us how to analyze imagery and words and to put meaning behind things. So we knew that in telling a stream of conscious narrative and in creating a mental landscape in this film, that we'd have to use image to convey meaning as well, not just dialogue or score. All these things needed to come together. And we wanted a world that would be just hers. So it needed to kind of transport you out of the normal reality of maybe what this town would be, which is in Humboldt County, and take you into the version of Teresa where, you know, there's no cell phones, but there is a medical marijuana dispensary which locates you in a current timeline. There's music from the 80s or 70s, and things were kind of timeless. So all of those choices visually and sonically kind of transport you. And you know, it's so amazing because Kirsten's such an incredible emotional vessel. So I always think that her performance plus, you know, being in this new world allows someone to kind of do a lot of their own self-investigation. Hopefully you would watch the film and think about yourself and like how you relate to the world and the environment. Even the questions of, like, you know, a female body and violence and how these things are kind of navigated currently.
Now that you've starred in their film, Kirsten, do you get a discount on the clothing?
I get free clothing.
She
getting
just
a wedding
calls us.
dress.
She's like, I saw this, and I was like, okay, it's in the mail.
No, I have.
Do you need anyone to cameo in your next film? We'll work for clothing.
You can give your address. I'm sure they'll say.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, ladies, for being here. And Woodshock is in theaters everywhere September 22nd. Check it out. Welcome back. D'Arcy Carden, one of the breakout stars of NBC's The Good Place, came by recently to discuss a very important topic that impacts many people. Take a look.
I'm D'Arcy Carden, and I'm here to talk about something serious. Apostrophe Americans. You see, my name is spelled D''Arcy. Do you know how often people spell my name wrong or mispronounce it? The answer is every once in a while, and it's kind of a hassle. Every day, thousands of people in this country live their lives with names that have apostrophes in them, or as the French call them, les apostrophes. Les apostrophes. They pretend they're like everyone else, but deep down they know they're different. They have a little slash in their names and a little pain in their hearts. People ask, why don't you take the apostrophe out of your name? To that I say, would you tell Cindy Crawford to get her mole removed? No. David Letterman to fix the gap in his teeth? No. Or Robert Downey Jr. to lose his vestigial tail? Yeah, it's true, he's got a tail. We do have allies out there. On The Good Place, a coworker I won't name offered to change his last name to Danson. I was like, thanks for the offer, Ted, but come on, that's pretty stupid. As an apostrophe American, I want to salute the trailblazers who came before me, like R&B singer D'Angelo. Thank you for your smooth voice and for giving us a voice. Vincent D'Onofrio, you have fought for us the way you did for all those murdered joggers on Law & Order: Criminal Intent. And then there's D'Artagnan from The Three Musketeers. He wasn't American or real, but he was played by Chris O'Donnell, another one of us. For once in Hollywood, an apostrophe character was played by an actual apostrophe actor. My name's not D'Arcy, it's D'Arcy. Duh. What can you do to support these brave people? Watch season 2 of The Good Place, Thursdays at 8:30 on NBC. If you don't want to do it for me, do it for Ted Danson. Thank you, America.
Thanks, D'Arcy. Your name has an apostrophe, but your bravery deserves an exclamation point. That's our show. Thanks to all my guests. Don't forget to grab the Walking Dead issue of Entertainment Weekly on newsstands now and at EW.com. Bye.